Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to talk about budgeting. If you're starting real estate wholesaling or you're just in the beginning of the process, you should watch this video. Well, first of all, I want you to forgive my handwriting. It's not very good, but the content, promise you, will be much better. So there's 4 things you can spend your money on, especially when you're starting off. Education, marketing, employees, and software. So when you're starting off, you have so many things that you can potentially do. You can potentially get someone to do something for you. You can hire an employee. You can spend money on SMS campaign, cold calling, or mail blasting, just sending postcards, so which will be included in marketing. You can purchase all kinds of different softwares that are, that are expensive, that will get you some leads. And obviously, you can spend thousands of dollars to pay for different courses of different wholesalers or investors out there. So let me kind of give you a background story. When I was starting off, I had probably about $1,500 to $2,000 in my bank account. I was fired from my job in August of 2020, and I knew that I had to do something. And I knew about wholesaling, but I actually never really taken a lot of action towards it. So when I was fired, I said, this game on, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna get some deals done. So what I'll tell you is that the money I spend on stuff and what I think I did right or wrong in the beginning of my wholesaling journey. So we would just start from education. So education is very easy to get for free. We live in a time that I believe that everything that you really need to learn can be found online for either free or super cheap. So especially for beginners. If you are all in kind of very high level already and you're just trying to upgrade your understanding of the business, you may want to spend money and see some wholesalers that have been doing this for a while or investors that have been doing this for a while and learn from them. But if you're starting off, YouTube will be more than enough. You just have to ask the right questions. I have made a video, which the link will be down below, about 6 steps that you have to do when you're starting real estate wholesale and the questions that you have to ask and how to go about it. I think it's incredibly important to get good education, because if you don't have good knowledge of what you're doing, you're not going to be successful. But realistically, you don't need to spend a lot of money or any money at that matter on education when you're starting off. There are a lot of channels, including mine on YouTube, that provide a lot of really good information about wholesale and real estate, and I think that's the best thing to start off. In general, that's the first thing you should start off, is getting educated on the matter that you're trying to pursue. Now let's talk about employees. So if you listen to some of the biggest influencers, entrepreneur influencers of our century, let's say Gary Vee, he says something that I absolutely agree on. Whenever you have a chance to hire someone to help you do your job, you should definitely do that. But you also have to understand this. If you're starting off and you're in the position that I was when I was starting off, and you only have a couple $1,000s to play with, or even less, then you're probably not going to hire someone for a while. And I really believe that you should get educated on the part of the business that you're trying to hire someone for. Is because maybe you're not really good at it, and that's why you're hiring someone to do it for you, because you believe they will be a better addition to the company. But in the end of the day, I believe that you really should know what they're doing. If you have no knowledge how to do text blasting, then you probably should not hire someone to do it for you, because you're not really gonna know if they're performing well or not. The same thing goes for cold calling. If you want data organized and skip tracing, any of that, probably better off learning it kind of yourself. And even if you're not that good at it, you at least gotta understand how the system works, and you can understand what are the results that you will be expecting from someone that will be doing that part of the business for you. In my opinion, when you're starting off, employees are kind of not going to be in the picture at the moment. So now let's talk about software. So softwares are actually very important. You can really start working with no software if you wanted to. So let's say you were driving for dollars, which is, I just made a video talking about how driving for dollars is still a good way to find leads. It just takes a little while, but at least it's pretty much free. You only have to pay for gas. Then let's say you're using free skip tracing tools. They're not accurate, they're not that great, but they will do. Let's say out of the 100 phone numbers that you've got, you may get a couple people that are actual owners, and you get a hold of them, and maybe you get lucky. But to be honest with you, that's really not the best way to do it. Problem with that is that free skip tracing isn't very accurate. Driving for dollars isn't the most time efficient way to find deals. So what I did, I actually invested in software. That's one of the first things I did. I started spending about $200 to $250 a month for different software. This included Propstream.Batch leads as for the texting platform. So let's say you spend $250 on subscriptions a month when you're just starting off, your first couple months. And when you do that, you're actually helping yourself out because those softwares will make a return as soon as you get your first deal. Obviously, think of this. I know $250 is a lot of money to invest in something that you don't know if it's gonna work. It was for me when I was starting out. So it was hard to believe, but I had to believe in the process and understand that this $250 could turn into $4,000 or $5,000 in one deal. And then after that, that paid off everything for the software. And at this point, I'm just making more money because of the software. It's not only paid off, but now I'm making money because of the software. So I believe software is definitely something to invest in when you're starting off. The link to the Propstream is gonna be down below. Like I said, I use it all the time and that was the first software I actually bought. So the link is down below. It's 7-day free trial if you wanna try it out, and then it's $99 a month after that. So you started with a subscription of $250. Then after that, there's also, which I'm gonna include in software, is skip tracing. Skip tracing, like I said, keep it down for free. It's not worth your time to do it for free unless you really don't have a better option. If you were going to do it for free, my suggestion is, so when you're doing free skip tracing, you can only enter one data at a time. So you can only enter one property at a time. If you go to white pages or whatnot, you can actually only enter, hey, this 123 Main Street, whatever, and then after you got information on that, you have to go to the second one. You can't really bulk upload any information, so you have to go one by one. What paid skip tracing gives you the opportunity to actually upload bulk numbers and get a lot of numbers back for those people. So if you're going to do free skip trace, I suggest you invest in something called bin verified. It's also a skip tracing that you can only skip trace a single lead at a time. It gives you a lot more information and it is a lot more accurate. It's about $30 a month if I'm not mistaken, and I have talked about it before. I think it's one of the best skip tracing platforms, and that gives you a lot of information about a person. You cannot upload bulk numbers, so that's the only thing. So it will take time, but if you're only trying to spend about $30 a month, that's a good way to go. But if you actually want to invest in it and you understand that this is a numbers game, your regular skip tracing is what to go for. You really have to spend about 15 cents, which is about market average at the moment, to get skip tracing. There's a lot of different skip tracing platforms. I actually made a video about different skip tracing platforms. I think there are some good skip tracing platforms out there. I constantly switch around and I try different things. I may make a second video, updated video of that, because I have been using different skip tracing platforms and I've been getting different results. So you really should just invest in skip tracing, because data is what's gonna bring you, good data is what's gonna bring you a lot of deals. So I want to say, if you're doing 15 cents per trace, and let's say you're starting off, right? So you say you do 2,000 leads per month. So when you invested another $300 into that, at that point, you spend already $550 a month on average to just get leads and get their phone numbers. And actually, within this $250, you only have the subscription to the texting platform. And that's a cheaper texting platform. So you will actually have to invest a little more to do the texting. It's for example, I'm using Batch texting platform as an example. It's 3 cents per text that you send. So that will be another cost, let's say 3 cents per 2,000 leads. Let's say you still have to send a couple texts per lead to actually get the lead. Let's say you're gonna send 3,000 text messages a month for 3 cents per text message. That will add up to another $90. I'm gonna round it out to 100. So you're looking at $650 right here, just the software. The cool part about this is this and this are actually very correlated. Your texting platform and your texting costs are actually your marketing costs. But there are more things that can go into marketing than just software. Bandit signs, you can have different postcards that you'll be sending out. So all that stuff. So this is super important. Technically, marketing is actually the most important thing that you can invest in when you're starting real estate wholesaling. Well, technically, self-education is what really is the most important thing that you're gonna invest in, but you are gonna be able to do that for free. So what you're gonna be investing most of your money in is gonna be marketing. Marketing is incredibly important. So if I was starting off again, I would do pretty much everything that I've done. However, the only thing I would do different is that I would spend less money on other marketing systems that haven't worked for me. I've spent probably around $1,500 altogether on Facebook marketing. didn't get a single deal. I'm not saying it doesn't work. I don't know how to do it yet, and I don't have the time to educate myself on that matter yet, or hire someone to do that for me. But at the particular moment, that was a waste of time for me and a waste of money. I spent maybe $400 on bandit signs. I spent some money on postcards. Didn't do a lot of them because I just don't believe that postcards still work. They maybe do, but I just don't feel the need to do them. I believe that other means of marketing work better than postcards, but there are people that are gonna prove me wrong because they have their own postcard campaigns that work. I don't really believe in it, but the reason behind that might be because I don't do it enough. And I believe that every marketing platform is, the more you do it, the more it will pay off. And since I'm not doing it, it's probably not paying off, right? So the only thing I would add to this cost, I would probably add another couple $100 if you're gonna try some other marketing platform. You know, you could potentially actually add more to the software. You can say, I'm gonna do cold calling on top of my text messaging, which is a pretty good way to do things. Here's what I can tell you how when I started. I said, okay, so I have that $1,500. It means that if I spend about $750 a month for the next 2 months, I should find a deal. You could definitely do that, but I'm just saying, be aware that there's never a guarantee that any money you spend on the business will pay out. The only guarantee is that you will get enough experience, and eventually, when it's a hard work and a persistent work, it will pay off. All I'm trying to say is that the first month, if a deal doesn't come through, don't give up, because it didn't for me. I found it within the first 2 months. The second month is when it actually came through. And along the way, I had a lot of deals fall through. I was ready to give up and stuff like that, but believe in the process. It's definitely possible to do. You're just going to be perfecting yourself. Don't do the same thing all over again. Don't do texting and use the same text messages all over again and they're not working. You're like, oh, this is not working. Try something different. Try different text messages. Try a different platform. Try something different. It's hard to do this full-time, well, obviously when you're working full-time at a job, but if you can somehow dedicate a couple hours a day towards self-education, and then weekends, let's say you're not working you're not working on the weekends, you're working the regular 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, go freaking crazy on text messaging, cold calling, just 8-10 hours a day and just kill it. And when you find that first deal and that pays off back for this, even if you use this for 2 months, the average of a deal is, I would say right now, about $5,000, at least for me. So if I found a $5,000 deal, 2 months, 3 months, I would say I can even do this for 4 months and not get paid a single time, but in 4 months, I'll get a deal that pays off everything back and then some. It's just really hard to believe in the process when you haven't found the deals. It was hard for me, so I understand. But just trust in the process and you'll be able to figure it out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed doing this because it kind of brings me back to where I started from, and I do really enjoy talking about it. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Please leave a comment. If you have any other questions, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. And as always, guys,